I never thought someone could look me in the eye after everything I'd done for them and say something that cuts so deep it changes the entire direction of your life. But that's exactly what she did. One night, out of nowhere, she told me she didn't see me as her boyfriend anymore. I was just a roommate, not a partner, not someone she loved, just someone who paid half the bills and stayed out of her way. And what she didn't know was that the moment she said those words, my whole mindset shifted. Because if she truly wanted a roommate, I was about to become the best one she'd ever had, and the last one she'd ever take advantage of. But nothing could have prepared either of us for how far things would spiral after that. Looking back, the signs were there long before she said anything. Things didn't fall apart suddenly. They eroded, quietly, in the background of our daily life. The affection disappeared first. Not all at once, just slowly enough that I kept giving her the benefit of the doubt. Hugs got shorter. Kisses got rarer. She started turning away at night, sleeping right on the edge of the bed. And every time I tried to talk to her about it, she swore she was just tired. Her schedule changed too. More nights out with friends. More makeup than usual. More time on her phone. Screen turned away from me just slightly. I told myself it was stress. Work. Life. Anything except the truth. She was drifting away, and I was trying to hold on to something that was already gone. The craziest part? I kept doing everything I normally did. Cleaning, cooking, paying bills, showing up emotionally. I kept pouring into a relationship that had stopped pouring into me. But I didn't see it clearly until the night she said the words that finally snapped me awake. And what happened after that changed everything. We were sitting on the couch when she said it. No argument. No conversation leading up to it. She was scrolling through her phone, barely looking at me, and she just said, "I don't really see you as a boyfriend anymore. I see you more like a roommate." The way she said roommate, so casually, like it didn't matter. That's what hit me. My chest tightened. My brain went blank. I genuinely thought I misheard her. I asked her what she meant, and she shrugged like she was announcing the weather. It's not that deep. We still live together. We still split things. But emotionally, I'm just not there. She said it like she expected me to accept it. Like my role was to conveniently stay in her life, keep paying for half the bills, keep providing comfort, and keep giving her the benefits of a partner without being treated like one. That's when something clicked in my mind. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just nodded slowly. Because if she wanted a roommate, I was about to give her exactly what she asked for. But even I didn't realize how quickly her entire world would start unraveling. The next morning, I woke up with a new sense of clarity. All the emotional labor I'd been carrying for years, gone. I wasn't her boyfriend anymore. I was a roommate. And roommates follow rules. The first thing I did was split everything down the middle. Groceries? 50/50ths. Household items? 50/50ths. Streaming services? If she wanted them, she could pay her half. Gas for outings? We weren't us anymore. She could drive herself or pay for her share. I even labeled items in the fridge. Not to be petty, but because roommates don't buy each other food. She noticed immediately. At first, she laughed like I was joking. But when payday came and I didn't buy the usual household supplies, the laugh disappeared. Then came the real confusion. She said, "Why are you acting weird?" And I said, calmly, "I'm just respecting the boundaries you set." That's when irritation began to creep in, because she didn't expect the consequences of her own words. But the real shift happened when I did something she never saw coming. One weekend, I told her I'd be out that night. She didn't ask questions until I came home smiling, smelling like cologne I only wear for special occasions. The next night, same thing. I left looking sharp, came home late. That's when her mask cracked. She asked, "Where are you going?" I replied, "Out." She pressed harder. "With who?" "Not your business," I said. "We're just roommates, remember?" Her face dropped. She never planned for me to move on. She wanted the comfort of knowing I was still orbiting her life, even if she wasn't giving anything back. Jealousy started creeping in. She suddenly dressed nicer when I was home. She started doing her makeup again. She hovered around me in the kitchen. She laughed too loud around me, like she wanted my attention back. But the thing that pushed her over the edge? I met someone, and this woman wasn't like her. She had her life together, her own place, her own income, her own plans, independent, confident, and nothing like the girl I lived with. And when my ex realized she no longer had control over me, everything escalated. The moment she realized I was seeing someone else, her behavior flipped. One day she acted sad and quiet, asking if we could talk. The next she was angry, accusing me of moving on too fast. Then she tried the seductive approach, walking around the apartment in outfits she never wore when we were together. I didn't fall for any of it. The more I stayed calm, the more unhinged she became. She tried guilt-tripping me. I can't believe you're doing this when I'm still figuring out my emotions. She tried a victim act. You don't care about my mental state at all. She even played the I miss us card after telling me I wasn't her boyfriend. And when none of that worked, she tried turning people against me. Her mom called, lecturing me about respect. Her friends sent me paragraphs. One even told me I was emotionally abandoning her. But I kept repeating one simple fact. She said I'm just her roommate. I'm respecting the title she chose. And right when she realized she was losing every form of influence she had, she did something worse. She tried to weaponize the landlord. I got a message saying there'd been a complaint about aggressive behavior. Except I had receipts proving exactly what happened. No yelling, no threats, nothing inappropriate. When I confronted her, she denied everything. But during the landlord meeting, she couldn't keep her story straight. Her lies fell apart instantly. The landlord looked at her with disappointment, then at me, and said, "This can't continue. I need both tenants to behave like adults." That humiliation pushed her past the edge. She started slamming doors, breaking things, leaving messes intentionally, and creating reasons to fight. Any excuse to make me look bad. But karma didn't wait long. She broke an apartment fixture during one of her tantrums, something expensive. That counted as a lease violation. Suddenly, the landlord wasn't warning her. He was documenting her. And she still had no idea the worst was yet to come. Around this time, pieces started clicking together. The late nights, the secrecy, the sudden emotional withdrawal, the shift in how she treated me. Rumors had already circulated from one of her co-workers, nothing concrete, but enough to raise eyebrows. People said she'd gotten close to a guy at work. Too close. And while no one could confirm anything, the timing lined up perfectly. Her entire "I need space" phase started around the same time she began staying late after shifts. She never admitted anything, but the behavior said everything. And here's the twist. When she finally tried to pursue something with him, he didn't want her. Rumors suggest he liked the attention but wasn't looking for a commitment. She gambled our relationship thinking she'd upgrade her life. Instead, she ended up with nothing. And when that realization hit her, when she understood that I had moved on while the guy she bet everything on didn't want her, she finally broke. But by then, it was way too late. While all this was happening, I had quietly secured a new apartment. I signed the lease, got the keys, moved my essentials, and kept everything low-key. She was so wrapped up in her emotional chaos that she didn't notice anything. Then came the final moment. The landlord emailed both of us about renewing the lease. She instantly replied, yes, assuming I'd stay, because deep down, she still believed I'd remain her safety net. I waited until she left for work, packed the last of my things, cleaned my half of the apartment, left my key on the counter, and I emailed the landlord. I will not be renewing. When she came home that evening and saw my side empty, she called me nonstop. She begged. She cried. She apologized. She said she didn't mean anything she said. Then the panic kicked in. She couldn't afford the apartment alone. Her friends weren't offering their couches anymore. Her situationship wasn't interested. And she had a lease violation on record, making it harder to rent somewhere else. Everything she thought she'd gain, she lost. Everything she took for granted slipped away. And for the first time in months, I felt peace. Real, quiet, powerful peace. Walking away wasn't about revenge. It was about finally choosing myself after years of choosing someone who wouldn't do the same for me. She tried to downgrade me to roommate, but what she really did was free me. Free me from the emotional limbo. Free me from being her backup plan. Free me from carrying the whole relationship alone. In the end, she lost the apartment, lost control, lost the guy she gambled for, and lost the person who genuinely cared for her. I didn't ruin her life. Her choices did. And if there's anything I learned from all of this, it's that you can't save someone who treats you like an option. And you should never shrink yourself for someone who can't see your value. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is take someone's words literally and walk away.